Good morning. My name is Chanel Peterson. I'm the Managing Director for Marketing and Vision 2040 for the Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority. Welcome to VIEDA's Wednesday webinars. And today I'm excited, as always, to introduce our newest topic entitled Learn About the VIEDA's Business Incubator Program with our wonderful main speaker today, Ms. Kusa Holloway. Ms. Kusa Holloway is the Incubator Program Manager within the Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority. And with her speaking today is Mr. Jed John Hope from SFT Consultants. And we'll be getting much information from both Ms. Kusa and Mr. John Hope about the programs and services available for entrepreneurs, startups, and really just those who are interested in starting their own business. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Ms. Kusa Holloway.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I would like to thank everyone for joining us today, and we hope that the presentation that we have today will enlighten you on what the EDA has to offer, especially where it pertains to our small business incubator. As Ms. Chanel Peterson has said, my name is Ms. Kusa Holloway. I am the Small Business Incubator Manager for EDA. I have been with EDA for now about 13 years, and in my present role for about 8. Go ahead. Next slide. Our mission at the Small Business Incubator is to provide a critical bridge between the VIEDA and other community programs to assist entrepreneurs in the areas of professional services, food and agribusiness, tourism, and information technology, providing the necessary support services to foster sustainable economic growth to enhance the territory's entrepreneurial product. Next slide. Can you go back one slide, please, Chanel? Thank you. Oh, there we go. I just wanted to put this in here so everyone knows that, you know, the incubator program wasn't something we just kind of pulled out from the air. It was something that is in our Virgin Islands code. We actually, EDA received some monies and we did a incubator. We had a feasibility study done to really figure out what type of incubator would be best for the territory, where it would be best for, and what kind of businesses we should be targeting. From that study, they said that we should do an incubator to incorporate the increase of entrepreneurship within the territory. We should be looking at a mixed use incubator, meaning that we help all types of businesses instead of focusing on one type of industry, say technology instead of everything else. And these are the things that we should focus on: tourism, construction, e-commerce, information technology, maritime, agriculture, and aquaculture. Next slide. A little bit about our staff. I'm the staff. I'm it. I have a bachelor's degree in public administration from Barry University, a master's degree in community economic development from University of Southern New Hampshire. I've been with EDA for about 13 years now. As I've said, I've actually started an enterprise zone commission, and now I'm with the incubator program under the Economic Development Bank. One of my main focuses is creating and curating seminars and trainings for the program, but also grant management. And I manage grants at EDA from 50,000 to 1.5 and more. Next slide. Chanel, I think Chanel is stuck. Let's see if I can move the slide.
Difficulties. It is indeed slightly stuck. So give me just a second. Thank you.
No problem. The next slide will be introducing Mr. Jed John Hope. He is the founder and managing director for SFT Solutions. And there we go. Thank you. Mr. John Hope is a strategy, business development, and technology implementation specialist with over 15 years of experience advising leaders in public administration, automation, public utilities, manufacturing, financial services, and oil and gas sectors. He is a proud Virgin Islander, came out of the Good Hope School. He has worked for Morgan Stanley, the Hess Corporation, Liberty Mutual, Arcadis. He's done a wealth. He has a wealth of experience, and I'm so glad to have him on board, helping our clients at this time with me. Next slide. Some of our partners that we worked with previously and also currently: the St. Croix Chamber of Commerce, I Mentor, SBA.gov, which is a big partner with us. SBDC is also a portion of SBA. SBDC receives funding from SBA to do a lot of technical assistance, business plan writing, helping companies find funding, financials, things like that. The EDA, the USEDA, excuse me, the NBIA, which is the National Business Incubation Association, they've actually recently changed their names now to the International National Business Association, Minority Business Development Agency, and of course, the Department of Commerce, and of course, the University of the Virgin Islands. Next slide. Our services that we currently offer. We do offer low-cost office space. Right now, our space is under renovations because our building was damaged by the Hurricane Maria in 2017. And we're finally getting to the point where we can actually renovate and actually start having businesses back within our office. But we offer business advice, mentoring, counseling, and all of the things that we offer are really no cost to our participants except for the office space. The office space also provides you access to shared office equipment, access to high-speed internet. We have a T1 line that comes directly into our building, entrepreneurial workshops, trainings, seminars, and networking opportunities, and also a conference room with teleconference capabilities. Next slide. And we get to the good stuff. Here are some of the clients that we've worked with over the years. Currently, the incubator program has approximately 34 clients or more, give and take at times, currently that we're working with right now. And as you can see, these are some of the more well-known companies. We have Alvin's Hot Sauce, we have Save at St. Croix, NetWave, we have ISG, and a lot of our businesses, Moringa Lion, Crucian Mirage, a lot of them you've seen in the stores or you've heard them throughout the territory. Next slide, please. This is some of our other ones that we've worked with or we're currently working with. We have Neighborhood Pharmacy, Sweet Me Away, Gourmet Desserts, Designs by Regal, Top Notch Cleaning Services, Cultured Naturals, MV's Exterminating Services, and Pizza Gusto. And what we've seen recently in our trend with our businesses that we've been working with, and can you just stay on this slide for just a minute for me, Chanel, is we're seeing where our entrepreneurs are now becoming serial entrepreneurs. They started with one business and now they've branched out on to other things, like Top Notch Cleaning Services started about 2 years ago. And now she's launching a new venture soon called Top Notch Virtual Receptionist. Neighborhood Pharmacy has branched out from not only just being our first full service pharmacy, locally owned full service pharmacy, but she does delivery. Now she doubled her space, and now she's actually tripled her space to include now, it should be opening soon, where she'll be having an actually health food store where they'll be selling smoothies and salads and prepared meals. And so it's really encompassing just health. Cultural Naturals started from, I always like to say this, and she laughs at me when I say, but she started from the trunk of her car. The first time I met her, she was really selling her products from the trunk of her car, now to where she actually has an actual storefront in Christiansted. She, through her entrepreneurial progress, her husband opened MV's Exterminating, and now he owns his own exterminating company. From that, she also opened Juju and CC's Lemonade. And that is another extension of her business, trying to get her kids. She has two young girls who the products are named after, and they're actually really good. They're sold in different stores and gas stations throughout the territory. You should definitely try them. But now she's looking at getting her children in to entrepreneurship from a very young age. And that was one of the goals when we started this program in 2013 is we wanted to start creating our own legacy companies here within the territory, not just, okay, well, they open up a business and then they're gone. We're really trying to create more Armstrong ice creams. We're trying to create more Bates trucking, those legendary names that when you hear them, okay, it's a family business. Somebody's going to take over. It's not going to just, dissipate, once, the elders kind of phase out. And also we want to see where people are realizing that, okay, I don't have to just only stay with this business, but realizing that you can shift, you can pivot, and do other things, once you get that one big brand, and you can build off of that brand to other things. You can go ahead, Chanel. Thank you. Some of our accomplishments, and this is just a few. We've had a lot of our clients do really big things within this territory. If you guys are familiar with Nerex, he's a founder and CEO, local gentleman. Leon Hughes came out of Central High School, now owns a technology company. Leon has done really great things. He won 2015 Business of the Year from the St. Croix Chamber of Commerce. We have neighborhood pharmacy, Miss Keisha Christian, who we all know and love. We have Mrs. Anna Foster, Netwave Unlimited. And if you're not familiar with Netwave Unlimited, let me tell you, a few years ago, when they were doing this big broadband project here in the territory, I think that was about 2010, 11. And all of these companies were coming in to do broadband. They were digging up the roads and, laying fiber optic cables. There were no local companies. Not only there were no local companies, but these external companies were coming in and hiring our local people to only do flag work. You know the story. And Anna saw an opportunity and she said, we cannot continue to do this. And she and her husband, Mr. Louis Torres, opened their company, and they now certify individuals to do fiber optic installations and splicing and things like that. A lot of their graduates have gone on to work for VIA and VINGN and other entities. But also too, now when those opportunities come back around again, we have someone poised right here in the territory who can jump in and submit a proposal to do that type of work. From her exposure through the incubator program and being able to work with our consultants and all the services that we were able to, she has been sought after by the city of Massachusetts, the state of Massachusetts, and also Dubai. United Emirates would like for her to come and bring her training to these other areas. Leon started with the incubator program and has gone on to do great things. Not only has we were able to help him craft an internship program with the University of the Virgin Islands, but he has taken it a step further where he has really been integrated back into the Virgin Islands economy, where he has been able to provide internships. He's now a part of the board for the St. Croix Chamber of Commerce. And then also now he's a part of the UVIRT Tech Park to talk about transition and really expanding his business and going forward with it. Next slide. And I left this without any words or captions because I really wanted to let the picture speak for itself. Here you have Leon Hughes, which was one of our first incubator clients, as board member of the Chamber of Commerce, handing Miss Ramon Reed, who is the owner of Culture Naturals, the winner, Best New Business for 2019. It's all about support. It's all about helping those next individuals who are trying to come up. We've had Miss Kimberly McCullum, who was the owner of ISG. If you're not familiar with ISG, ISG is the company, for those of you who are here in St. Croix, the Estate Profit, or we call it Spanish Town solar farm that's right across from Diageo. ISG built that particular solar farm for Whopper in their quest to lower our power rate here in the territory. Miss Kimberly McCullum, after being with the incubator program, also went on to serve on the board of directors for the Chamber of Commerce, and not only serve as on the board of director, but she also went on to be the president for a year. And that speaks a lot. I encourage anyone on this call, if you are a small business owner, please join the St. Croix Chamber of Commerce. There's several reasons. There's a lot of benefits to it. There's a lot of information, networking opportunities that are always available to their members. But also too, there's a recognition factor where you're recognized, where they can nominate you for awards if you're the best new business, or business of the year, things like that. But also too, there is a policy component to it, where a lot of legislation that is passed based on small businesses, our senators and our governor always usually taps into our St. Croix Chamber of Commerce or the St. Thomas Chamber of Commerce as well, for feedback on potential legislation that can impact our small business community. So I urge you, please find out, go to some of their meetings, and actually sign up to be a part of that. Being a part of the St. Croix Chamber of Commerce, or even the St. Thomas St. John's Chamber of Commerce, provides you with a voice, and you're always in the loop for information. Next slide. Upcoming seminars. So recently we've been doing some seminars, and we actually did the USVIEDA Apparel Forum previously, but we're going to be doing another one hopefully in the summer. Marketing strategies with Mr. Jed John Hope. We hope to be bringing back shortly, maybe even next month. We are hoping to get these small business camp and a young CEO camp launched again. And the small business camp is for individuals who are thinking about going into business, or you would like to expand your business. You can go through a boot camp phase, and then there's about 16 weeks of follow-up one-on-one calls where you're talking to the consultant about your particular business. And then we also have the Young CEO Camp, where we're looking to really start engaging our young people in entrepreneurship, getting them started from early instead of waiting until later on. Next slide, Cheryl. Next steps, where we're going next. So of course, we've been talking about the St. Thomas St. John district presence because, everybody's been asking, and COVID really put a kind of damper on that. Even though we're still assisting clients in the St. Thomas St. John district, we don't have an actual presence besides the EDA office. But as we're coming up the end of this year, hopefully next year, we'll start looking for actual space. We're going into food incubation. We'll talk a little bit more on that in the next slide. We're still applying for grants. I have to tell you, the last grant that we were able to acquire, we were able to purchase a generator for the incubator program. So that way, any small businesses or small business person who needs a reliable space to conduct Zoom meetings, anything like that, you can always come to the incubator program offices. Not right now because we're in COVID and we're not doing any in-person meetings. But when we start that back, we'll let you know where you can actually come to the incubator program and you can utilize our office for those type of meetings, so you have a reliable source. And also for after hurricanes, I know that was one of the big things that we heard from our small business community after the hurricanes, is that they had no place to go to just do payroll or order supplies or anything like that. And now you have that here at the incubator. So we still continue to do grants to find ways to modernize our incubator program, and also just to bring more content to you. Some of the seminars we talked about already, but these are the other ones that we're talking about: food production, value added, financial literacy, small business boot camp, young CEO camp. Next slide. I wanted to go a little bit more in depth on our food incubator program. We have been, we're right now in the process of waiting on to see if we get a grant to do a feasibility study on a food incubator program. And the food incubator program will be a full service clean kitchen facility for those individuals who are doing value added food items. So you're creating breads and pies and jams and sauces and all of those type of things. And you need a little bit of help. Not only do you need help, but you also need a place to produce these items. And, you know, you don't have the money or the funding right now, the capital, to build out your existing home or to rent a place. And this will allow you to rent time within the incubator program, within the food incubator. And the food incubator will encompass where anyone is doing baking, cooking, catering, all of those type of things. But also too, it'll help you with support programs. If you can go to the next slide, please, Chanel. The Food Incubator Program will be home to the first commercial kitchen facility in the territory, and it will help to produce jobs, sustainable businesses, and to increase economic opportunities for food entrepreneurship and food producers in St. Croix. It will feature a certified clean kitchen. It will feature a test kitchen, hopefully, for demonstrations, showcases, TV shows, food storage, curated classes and seminars, support services such as marketing, recipe and label assistance, and anything that you need to really get that particular product out into the market, not just into a local market, but how do we help you export that as well? Export that out of the territory. Some of the items that are produced here in the territory are very well good enough to be in Whole Foods and major supermarkets. So this is what the Food Incubator Program will be doing, connecting you to hopefully some of those things that we can start exporting and hereby creating our own local small business EDC companies. Next slide, please. And our contact info. So here we come to the end, but of course we're still going to be here so we can talk with Jed a little bit more. And we do have a special person that I want to introduce as well, Miss Katisha Weeks. But here's my contact information, and we'll keep that up for a little bit so that way anyone who wants to write it down, and we'll also put it in the chat as well. But Mr. Jed John Hope, are you still with me?
Yes, I am. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Good, good, good. And I have Miss Katisha Weeks.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Katisha Weeks from Cultured Caribbean Wear. Glad to be here.
Well, let me start with Katisha first, because Katisha has been a part of our some of our webinars. So I wanted to get Katisha's feedback, and if there's anyone else who's been a part of our webinars, I just wanted to get your feedback as well. So Katisha, can you tell us your experience with the webinars and which ones you participated in?
Sure. I must say I was totally grateful for the opportunity to attend the webinars. I did attend the one for apparel organizations or company or stores. And so it was a breath of fresh air for me. I kind of worked backwards, and I wouldn't necessarily suggest this for people. But of course, you know, I did learn some valuable lessons. So for example, I launched in, I think in 2019, but I didn't really do much of anything in terms of marketing. I didn't know how to price the apparels. And so I really got, I guess, some kind of a push. I don't know, COVID. I got just prompted because of COVID to really try to get out there and to do something with the business, since I didn't do so when I first launched in 2019. And so I had set my prices, but I still wasn't sure how to do that. But when I attended the apparel, USVIEDA apparel forum, which was presented by Mr. John Hope, you know, I got insight on in terms of pricing. And one of my questions to him was, so if you already set your prices and you're too low, because based on what I learned, the prices were too low for the shirts that I was selling. I was like, so how do you get to the point where it's a good price, and how do you gradually increase that price? So things like that was very valuable for me. Also, just understanding various costs, even waste, things that you should factor in when you're establishing your budget. I also, I'm not sure if it's that session, the USVIEDA parallel, was the marketing session where I think Jed had brought one of his friends and he talked about just having, I forgot the term of the book, but it was kind of like an entrepreneurial playbook that you should have that quickly summarizes your business and what you offer and who your target audience is. So things like that was very helpful for me. Prior to this session, one thing I had learned is that in terms of I'm old school, I say niche, people say niche now. Excuse me, my niche or niche market. I didn't know, you would think, okay, I just want to market to just everybody, families, husbands, wives, and their kids, sell clothes for their kids. And in a prior seminar and this, we also learned that no, you really have to narrow down your target market. So if it's professional women that make a certain amount, $55,000 or more, and they're maybe wives, or and they're within a certain age, say maybe 35 to 50, specific things like this. These are things that you kind of learn through these sessions, and not necessarily, I want to market to everybody in the Virgin Islands kind of thing, So these are the types of things that you learn through these, and I must say they were very valuable for me. So thought I should share that.
Thank you so much for your feedback, Katisha. I really appreciate that.
No problem.
Jed, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Katisha was paying attention, made me smile a little bit. There's a lot of good information in the seminars. I hope some of the folks on the line that haven't participated can participate. We have 2 more coming up this summer. But it's always such a pleasure to interact with all the entrepreneurs, and everyone starts somewhere, right? So it's all about, once you have your business started, how to make it better. And I guarantee, Fortune 100 companies are paying consultants to help make their business better. It's great that the EDA provides this service for free.
Thank you. And I see that we have a question in the chat room. It says, this seems very STX focused. Are the programs truly available as yet to St. Thomas and St. John? The programs do seem STX focused because, and there is a reason for that, not just because I'm based in St. Croix, but also through the feasibility study that was done that created the incubator, that we based the incubator program off of, really said that St. Croix was more poised because of the business climate on St. Croix, that we needed to really ramp up entrepreneurial activities here within the St. Croix district. Now, the webinars are open to everyone because they're virtual. Prior to COVID, we were actually going to be doing webinars physically in St. Thomas and St. John, which we had never done before. But of course, with COVID and social distancing, and we can't be in large groups, we were not able to do that. We're hoping that maybe by the end of the year, we'll actually have a physical presence in St. Thomas, St. John district. But we're definitely working on that because there have been calls for that. It's not that we're purposely leaving St. Thomas, St. John out, because we do try to include them as much as possible in anything that we're doing. And yes, the programs are available to you to the much of the extent as we can. And you can, if you have a particular question, please know that you can always just reach out to me and I can still assist you the same way. I've assisted clients in St. Thomas before. So that does not preclude you from anything that we're doing. Yes, the food incubation program right now, we recently applied for a grant to develop the feasibility study. We're still waiting to hear back and if we'll be able to do that. But and you're asking what is the process now in starting something in that area, please reach out to me so we can talk on a one-on-one basis, and I can tell you what is available right now to help you with that particular venture that you're going with. Jed, so let's talk about what has been your experience. I know we've done about 4 webinars now. And what has been your experience? And please note that when I seek consultants to work with the incubator program, this time around, I was very, very, I want to say, I was very focused on looking for not one particular person, but I was very focused on looking for a particular set of individuals,
Right.
Especially ones who are local to our community. Not saying anything about anyone who comes from outside, because we've had great consultants who came from outside and helped our businesses, but sometimes that culture barrier and having a consultant who really knows what the challenges are of being in business here within the territory, it makes a difference. It really makes a difference. So Jed, if you could talk about, your experience with the webinars and working with the clients so far, and also you've been doing some one-on-one with our clients.
I mean, it's different, right? I'm a product of this community and very proud to be a product of this community. So I'm just helping one of my own, right? So, but I'll give you an example with the one-on-one seminars. We have a bucket of hours. I think we agreed on 10 hours per company. I honestly don't even track hours. I know that I am way over my budget, but and that's not something that's going to cost the EDA any more money. It's just, I know this person, this person might be a friend of my mother's, right? That's happened. This person was a friend of somebody that I knew, or somebody that I know, and it's just helping another entrepreneur try to get a leg up. So it's I think that's a touch that you wouldn't get from somebody that's coming in from the outside. I think that we all want to see each other do better, because if your business is successful, that's more stuff for me to buy here locally. I don't have to shop on Amazon. I would much prefer the money to stay and circulate in the community.
Absolutely, absolutely. And going back to our partners, one of the partners that I work with very closely is the SBDC. Please do not sleep on the types of services and technical assistance that you can receive from the SBDC. They help you with business plans. They do not write your business plans for you. Let me stress that. But they help you create your business plan and get those ideas from out of your head onto paper. And a lot of times people say, well, why do I need a business plan? First of all, it takes all of your ideas out of your head and puts it on paper. And also, if you're looking to seek any type of funding from a local bank or even the EDA, our Economic Development Bank, you're going to need to show a business plan. Now, a business plan no longer needs to be 40, 50 pages, of course, depending on the type of industry that you're going into, but it does need to have some special components in there. So I urge anyone, we do have a representative from the SBDC, I think online, Mr. Ted Gutierrez. Mr. Gutierrez, if you can put your information into the chat room so everyone can have that, so they'll know who to contact. SBDC is located on St. Croix and St. Thomas. They have great counselors. They also provide seminars, webinars. They're really a great resource. Please reach out to them. We've referred a lot of clients to them in order for our clients and just anyone and the like, to get that assistance that they need, just to get that one-on-one assistance. So I would like to open it up for questions. Anybody has a particular question for me, or even for Jed?
Hi, good morning, Kusa. This is Simile George.
Hey, good morning, Ms. George.
Hi, good morning. Great presentation today, and thank you for all the information you're providing, along with Mr. John Hope. I had 2 questions, actually. The first one for you. With the businesses that you highlighted previously in your presentation, have you been in contact with them during COVID-19 to follow up with them? And have you heard any stories about them pivoting, or are they still in business? What updates do you have that you can share with us?
all of those businesses have really, they've been okay so far. There've been a lot of pivoting. What I've seen, I can talk more about businesses in general, because during COVID-19, during the beginning of COVID-19, the incubator program, we facilitated 2 surveys to find out what was happening to our business community and how we could help. And a lot of the businesses were, while they had lost a lot of revenues, they didn't close down their businesses. They really just pivoted and they figured out other ways. So who didn't have an online presence now has an online presence. Who didn't have a really big social media following and whatever the case may be, now they do. I think it really helped a lot of individuals realize and that things can change within an instant. And it's not only hurricanes that we need to look out for. You know, there's global pandemics, there's the natural disasters, there's the economic disasters, there's all kind of disasters that you have sometimes no control over. And you really need to have a plan in place of how you're going to deal with that. Some of them you really can't plan for, but at least having a plan in place, and also seeking that information to keep your business viable. I think that was one of the key, but a lot of them were able to stay in business. I haven't heard of anyone closing, maybe scaling back a little bit, but everyone is still in business.
Okay, and my second question to both you and Mr. John Hope, what was the most rewarding part of conducting the entrepreneurship training?
I know for me, the most rewarding was doing the USVIEDA Apparel Forum. And we did that from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. And it was after 10. And the participants did not want to stop. They were so engaged with the speaker and the information, and also engaged with each other. I believe at that particular forum, you had a lot of people working together. There was, someone who said, I do jingles and commercials and marketing, and and then someone else says, oh, well, I can help you with that. And they started connecting, and that really warmed your heart when you see that, because that's what you want. You really can't do this entrepreneurship thing by yourself. You really have to find a partner or someone that you can lean on, or they can lean on you in order to help somebody else. So I think that was my most rewarding part, is seeing the entrepreneurs so engaged that they didn't even want to stop that night, and it was after 10.
Yeah, that was a good seminar. It was definitely a lot of energy, a lot of collaboration. So I enjoyed that as well. Probably my most rewarding, I'm doing the one-on-ones with a handful of businesses here in the community. And there's this one business, I won't embarrass the entrepreneur, but I got a text from her one day, just very effusive, very gracious, saying, hey, thanks for spending the time with me. My sales are going up. This has really helped my business, and completely unsolicited. That type of feedback is always great to hear, because that's what it's all about, right? At the end of the day, when you see your sales and your revenue going up, and the money you're able to put in your pocket and feed your family at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So that made me feel pretty good.
Okay, thank you both.
Thank you, Ms. George. Any other questions? I see Greg has his hand up, or is he clapping?
Yes. Thank you all. Good morning, and thanks, Kusa and Chanel. Appreciate the good information this morning. I have a question. I'm not so sure it's an incubator or accelerator question, but it's an EDA question. And during COVID, naturally, a lot of our work protocols were changed. Specifically, when a client needed to explore financial resources with the EDA, they were previously been required to have a declination letter from one of the local banks. My question is, has that protocol changed as we transition into more non-COVID projects and are seeing more non-COVID clients? Thank you.
That protocol was, short answer. So during COVID, we did have a memorandum, a moratorium, I should say, on that particular requirement. Per our EDA, our Economic Development Bank, We offer a loan, but we are a secondary lender. So that means we take on the riskier loans, startups, things like of that nature. And because we're a secondary lender, we do not compete with our local banks. So you have to be declined by a local bank in order to apply for a loan with the Economic Development Bank. However, during COVID, and we wanted to make sure that our small business community was taken care of, and we took away some of the red tape, we had a moratorium on that provision. However, that has sunset as of March 31st, and we're back to requiring a bank decline letter from individuals who are seeking funding.
Okay, thank you, Kusa.
You're welcome. Do we have any other questions?
Kusa, just for a minute, we just happen to also have Miss Monique Samuel, the acting director of lending for the Economic Development Bank. I think she'd like to add to your thorough response.
Sure.
Monique?
Yes, morning. I do apologize. I was here with Miss Weeks querying about her business. Kusa, thank you for responding to Greg's question. During the pandemic, what we did, we presented our board a request to waive the decline letter because we do know that some banks may have curbed the way they provided financing, or they were more focused on other programs that were available through the CARES Act. And so what we did, we were able to get approved from our board, the waiver of the bank decline letter. And that was approved since May of 2020, but it was only for a year. And so that approval has now expired. And so we do require that you return to your bank or proceed with your financing through the local banks before you can apply for financing through the Economic Development Bank. So we did have it at one point, the waiver, but the waiver has expired. And so the banks are lending according to the information that they've presented. And so there are 5 banks here within the territory. And also I do believe Greg or Ted, there's another bank that the SBDC can also refer you to if there are needs for financing.
Thank you, Monique. And I also noticed that Mrs. Nadine Marchena-Ken is on the call as well. Ms. Nadine Marchena-Ken is the Managing Director for the Enterprise Zone Commission. They are responsible for the historic towns of the territory. But not only does she manage that entity, but she also manages the STEP program, which is the State Trade Export Program. I hope I'm saying that correctly, Nadine. And Nadine likes to say, you start with Kusa and you finish with me, because Nadine runs the STEP program. Is a more of an accelerator type program. If you've heard about the Made in the USVI pop-up shops that have been happening throughout the territory, Miss Nadine Marchena-Ken is duly responsible for that. And she's been doing a great job of not only being able to showcase our local, entrepreneurs and their product, locally made products, but she's also been able to take them through 2 different trade shows, Denmark, New York, Brazil, really getting the world to see what can be created here within the territory and having those buyer interactions with our clients. So Ms. Nadine Marchena-Ken, would you like to say a few words about your program? You're on mute, Nadine. She's so excited.
Pleasant good morning to all. Pleasant good morning to all. Kusa does a great job at presenting information, and I really thank you for that presentation. It's always good to get a refresh on things that's going on. You are right. If you're a baby and you're just moving forth, the incubator is really absolutely the best stop, the best bang for your buck in the territory. I think that subsequent to that, if you are a little older, if you're experienced and you're just kind of stuck in the rut, that's when the accelerator at the EDA comes into play, because we are the ones that will push you out into the world. We've given grants to help you do your websites and to improve your websites. We have taken, as Kusa said, before COVID, we've taken people to Montreal, to Brazil, to Denmark, to England, to Italy, and to the largest trade shows on this side of the world in New York, and certainly help with, I think we're getting ready to do some training again to really push, those that are experienced and export ready. And that's what Kusa really is working on, trying to make you export ready as well. Once you get to the point of being export ready, we can sort of take over the reins at the accelerator and help you to move forward. So that's one of the programs that's available through the Enterprise Zone, the Accelerator Program, which is after you finish with the Incubator Program to move forward. We also are working on agro-processing and so forth, and getting food activities out there and moving that through as well. So if you're a baby, you're in one area. Once you've gotten to a toddler stage, you can move to the other area.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank
Kusa.
you, Nadine.
Thank you.
Do
And
we have
if I can add,
any?
Kusa, I think what Nadine mentioned really addresses what was asked earlier in reference to, the type of support that's currently available for businesses in St. Thomas and St. John. And so as much as, the Business Incubator does have a focus currently in St. Croix because of identifying that need, St. Thomas and St. John, in addition to St. Croix, has the support of the Enterprise Zones Commission's programs, which are really focused on building, existing businesses. And just to add lastly, I hope that everyone can keep in mind, as much as we have the Enterprise Zone Commission, we have the Business Incubator Program, we have Economic Development Bank, we have the Economic Development Park Corporation, and also the Economic Development Commission. All of these units fall under the Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority. And so collectively, we are working to provide these programs and services through the VIEDA. Someone mentioned earlier additional resources. We recently did a 4-month training course on e-marketing. That was another free course that we did in partnership with the International Economic Development Council. And if you happen to miss the e-marketing training courses, or if you happen to miss the cost price analysis, or even the USVIEDA Apparel Forum, these can be found on our website, usvieda.org/webinars. So you can see some of these recordings. Now, they're not all recorded, because in some of the webinars, we do encourage people to be as open and candid, and sometimes people can get a little bit nervous when they see that little recording button going. So by all means, we always encourage folks to subscribe to our website, subscribe and like our Facebook pages, our Instagram page, because we're always sending out information and updates, as well as resources that are available for our small businesses across all of the islands. Thanks, Kusa.
Thank you so much, Chanel. Jed, as we look to close out, first of all, does anyone have any other questions? Or I do see someone ask a question in regards to Black real estate agent referrals on island. If that person can send me an email, and we can get some, we can put together some local real estate agents for you and send that out as well. Jed, any final comments?
I welcome the discussion. Everyone can contact me as well. I'll put my contact information on the chat. If you have a question or, need some direction on any given topic, feel free to reach out. It's a pleasure working with the EDA, and look forward to continuing our work.
Thank you so much, Jed, and it's actually a pleasure working with you as well. You're a wealth of information. You're great with the the clients, and I really couldn't ask for a better partner right now in trying to grow our entrepreneurial product here within the territory. I would like to thank all of the participants who has been here with us tonight, today. Thank you so much. You can always visit our website, www.usvieda.org. Please remember that this webinar was recorded and it will be up on our website for future viewing. Or if you know someone who wasn't able to participate today and you think this information will be beneficial to them, please direct them to our website. Our contact information, I've been seeing Mrs. Nadine Marchena Ken and others place their information, their contact information in the chat. Please reach out. We're here to assist. This is what we do. And we hope everyone has a great day. Please continue to be safe and pay attention to the COVID guidelines. And we'll see you next time on our VIEDA Wednesday webinar.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.